Hi, welcome to Lily's Antidepressant Life. I'm Lily, and I have been on antidepressants since November 2021. I tried once to get off of them last spring, which was 2023, but spoiler alert, it wasn't the right move for me or my body at that time. I remember asking my primary care physician about weaning off. The medication I take has definitely made me gain weight, which doesn't make me very happy, which is not good for depression, right? My doctor's reaction was very positive. She said she loves it when her patients can get off this stuff and get more healthy. She was my cheerleader. So I didn't think about it at the time, but what my doctor said was actually dismissive and a little damaging. To get more healthy, I needed to get off the antidepressant. That couldn't be farther from the truth. Antidepressants help regulate mood and emotional states, which allows the brain and the body to heal from depression, anxiety, and trauma. Antidepressants contribute to the overall health and well being of a person who needs it. That's healthy. Ironically, this same doctor tried to get me to start taking medication for high cholesterol because my number was a little high. Instead of encouraging me to monitor my diet and exercise, she just wanted me to start taking medication for high cholesterol that perhaps I might not really need. I thought that was very contradictory, and again, it was dismissive. It sent the message that taking an antidepressant isn't necessary. I almost felt like I was being criticized for a weakness of character because I chose the wimpy way of dealing with depression with medication instead of toughing out or embracing a holistic lifestyle. These are all options and they might work. Whatever works for you is great. If you have found a way to combat anxiety and depression, more power to you. But I needed something different. If you've never taken an antidepressant, let me explain to you my experience with it. Remember, I'm not a professional, this is just my experience. So, my antidepressant is not a happy pill. It does not numb me or pump me up. It is not a hallucinogenic, did I say that correctly? Or an opioid or some derivative of an addictive drug. It just stabilizes my mood. During my awake hours, my mood is going to have natural shifts. We all do. Ebbs and flows and feelings and emotions, some highs, some lows. And this is normal. When it crosses over into dangerous territory is when my body can't handle the highs and lows because they get too extreme. And this is not in my head. I'm not making it up. It is very real. When I have a panic attack, my entire body tightens up. My heart races. My palms are sweaty. The body takes over automatically in response to outside stimuli. Sometimes it's hard to catch my breath. And it feels like what I imagine a heart attack feels like. I wonder if I might die. These symptoms cross over into dangerous waters where physical manifestations can cause serious medical harm. It's not in my head. Switching gears for a moment, I love documentaries and I watch them whenever I have downtime. There's something very compelling to me about learning different psychological profiles. Anyway, I was watching one the other day about this couple who were victims of a home invasion, and then the woman was kidnapped. She reappeared later, and the police accused them of fabricating the whole thing and compared it to the movie Gone Girl. If you haven't seen it, it's a really good documentary, but in it, at one point in time, the woman explains that in her past, before the home invasion, she had been the victim of a sexual assault, and nobody believed her. And now it's happening all over again. She's a victim, and nobody believes her. She's caught in a loop where crimes are committed against her. The ones who are supposed to help protect her don't, and she's left defenseless, even under attack. So that story resonated in me so deeply. It was like I could feel the vibrations of her emotions through the TV all the way down to my toes. I know what it's like to not be believed. I know the lonely feeling of being told that my perspective is all wrong and that I am not really a victim, that I'm just overreacting, or it's all in my head. Even when someone has done something incredibly heinous, it's isolating. It's dehumanizing. So coming face to face with this resurfaced pain sent me into a spiral of emotion that is incredibly difficult to explain if you've never experienced depression or anxiety. Depression is not a choice. Depression is a condition where the body and brain react in a way to facilitate self-preservation. When I came face to face with such a powerful trigger, my brain said, no, not going to deal with this today. We are not ready. I ended up curled up in a little ball crying. It's not because I was sad. It's not because I wanted attention. I mean, goodness, the last thing I wanted was for anybody to talk to me. I just wanted to be alone to try to survive. I was crying because my body was experiencing deep, cutting pain. No, nothing new had happened to me. No, I wasn't in any immediate danger, but a wound had been ripped open. I felt under attack, and I needed to retreat to safety. Depression strikes like a lightning bolt, sudden, intense, and electrifying, and it leaves invisible scorch marks where the attack hits most hotly. Right now, at this present time, being off antidepressants would have not contributed positively to my health. In fact, I'm pretty sure that if I had been off them, my depressive episode would have lasted considerably longer and would have spiraled into something very severe, into a panic attack. After my attempt to wean off antidepressants, I began working with a psychiatrist. My attempt to wean off wasn't going well, and when I went to my primary care physician for guidance, she wasn't disappointed, but she had been so excited that I wanted to get off that she was still pushing for that. So when I went back, she just kind of threw a new medication at me. Me being me, I went home and I read all about the new medication and saw that it could have a bad reaction with the original medication that I was already on. So I called the office and asked if I was supposed to stop taking that medication or if I was supposed to take both at the same time. And the answer was to take both at the same time. I brought up the interaction problem and they suddenly didn't know what to do with me. And they finally told me to consult with a psychiatrist because I needed deeper care. Now, this was all correct. The procedure was correct. They tried to help me and then they referred me to better care. But I felt like I was being problematic. I felt like she just won't just accept the treatment we've given her. Now let's just throw something new at her. And I just felt like I was a burden. But they were right. I needed more care. I think there are some primary care physicians who can handle antidepressant prescriptions, but it wasn't a forte of my doctor. So I needed a psychiatrist because that is a specialist, a doctor with special training who understands a lot more about the ins and outs of depression and anxiety. So my psychiatrist is great. He has gotten my medication all straightened out. By the way, I did not add the second medication. I just increased the dosage of the one I was already taking. And he also added one to help stop my nightmares. He's great. So now that I'm working with a specialist, I brought up to him one day the idea of weaning off my antidepressant. And do you know what he said to me? He asked, why? One little 3-lettered word. Why? My primary care doctor hadn't ever asked me that. She just jumped on the bandwagon, pom-poms and all. So I complained about the weight gain and discussed how improved I felt I had gotten. And he said, that's wonderful. He's still being my cheerleader. And by the way, I call him my happy Jamaican because I've never met him. It's on the phone. He has this big barrel-chested voice with that lovely sing-songy accent. He's always very upbeat and happy. And oh my gosh, he has made a huge impact on my life. So he told me he was glad that I was doing so much better. And of course he would help me wean off. But then he asked me to wait another month, just to have a little extra time to see how stable my mood was. That was a fair suggestion, right? I could easily wait a month. You see, this is the difference. He is an expert in the fluidity of depression and the constant changing emotional landscape that goes along with that. He knew that there were still ups and downs that could be challenging. He also knows my story, the whole Lily narrative. He didn't tell me no. He didn't discourage me in any way. He applauded my desire and then encouraged me to take some time to be patient and intentional. And then I watched the documentary. Bam! Oh, I was hit with emotions. And I'm so glad that I'm still on my antidepressant. Right now, I need it. I might not always, but right now I do, and that's okay. It is essential care for my mental health. I cannot overcome my disorder by myself right now, any more than I can wish away my lupus or fight off the flu with, mental fortitude. It's not a matter of willpower. And I'm so incredibly grateful for my psychiatrist. Well, my psychiatrist, my therapist, my EMDR therapist, and my unshakable support system. It really takes a village to keep me healthy. And I'm going to stay on my current medication plan for now. I think it is what's best for me, and that's okay. If I decided to wean off, guess what? That would also be okay. And if I decided to wean off and change my mind and went back on the antidepressant, that would still be okay. It's a personal decision that has to be uniquely tailored to you, your body, your mental health, and your lifestyle. Whatever you decide is best for you, it is. Don't let anyone tell you differently. I am lucky that my incredible support group has never made me feel bad for taking antidepressants. None of them. They all encourage me to do what's best for me. They want me to be healthy, not just be what their picture of healthy is. I know not everyone's that lucky, and I really hope you don't have to deal with many negative naysayers in your life, or even a well-meaning doctor who just doesn't have the specialized training to truly help your disorder. I always say that it's important. No, me and words. Important's not the good enough word. It's essential. It's essential that we try to be as self-aware as possible. So I need to say, hey, sometimes I feel a little fragile. So going out to a big party may not be the best choice for me today. Or I need to be able to say, hey, I know next week is going to be really hectic, so I should make sure I get plenty of rest. It's all being self-aware. I need to be able to say, hey, it's not good that watching a documentary has sent me down a rabbit hole of depression. I need to do something to help me. And most importantly, I need to say, hey, depression is not a choice. It is a condition. But it is up to me to get the best help possible, whatever that may look like. I wouldn't go to a dentist if I was diagnosed with cancer, and I wouldn't go to an oncologist for a root canal. My primary care doctor didn't mean any harm. She thought she was doing best. And like I said, there's many primary care doctors who can handle this. But I needed to seek help that was better suited for my needs. I needed a second opinion. I needed a specialist. And most of all, I needed to be self-aware that I needed help. That does not mean I am a specialist myself. In fact, the best help I've gotten over the past couple of years is when I've been self-aware enough to know that I can't help myself and that I need outside resources. That is being self-aware. You have the power to be self-aware. Wield that power. Decide if you're doing okay or if you need more help. Reach out to your support team if you need direction. If you don't feel comfortable with what you hear, seek a second opinion or go to a specialist. You need to be your strongest advocate when it comes to reaching your highest point of mental health. Remember, you are not alone. You are strong. You are awesome. And you've got this. Okay, to end today, I always try to end on a high note because I think we need to all smile more. So I'm going to give you a terrible joke. Are you ready? Two people sitting in a kayak in Alaska got really cold, so they decided to light a fire in the wooden craft. Unsurprisingly, it sank, proving it once again you can't have your kayak and heat it too. Pretty bad, I know. I love those. Check out my YouTube channel for more podcasts at I Am Lily, I Am Strong. And I also have my blog with lots of stories and resources that might help you on your journey. It's at www.lillystrong.com. That's Lily with 3 L's, LILLYSTRONG. My goal is to share with other depression warriors, validating our feelings and experiences while also being uplifting. My goal is to get you to say, yes, I understand that, while also hopefully making you smile, because we all need to smile more. So until next time, I hope you have a great week. Get out there and smile. Be self-aware. Be your biggest cheerleader.